Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Landed Home Show. Today we're talking all about the home prices here in Lexington and the surrounding counties. Hi, I'm Stephen J.B. Davis, your land specialist and residential realtor here in Central Kentucky and beyond. Today's video is all about Lexington and then the 6 counties that touch it. And we're specifically focusing on what happened in Q4 and kind of how that may inform what you do here in this first quarter now that we're in 2023. Those 2 quarters tend to have a lot of similarities. They sort of mirror each other. So if you look at the beginning of fourth quarter and the end of the first, that's usually where you find the most activity, just because when you're getting into the fourth, you're kind of coming down from the summertime, and when you're getting into the second from the end of the first, you're rearing up for the spring where things are starting to build momentum. But in that middle space, there's just a lot of deadness comparative to the summer months, June, July, August, that kind of thing. So we're specifically talking numbers from the fourth quarter, and the counties that we will be covering, if you're not familiar with the area, there's Fayette County, which is where Lexington is. Lexington and Fayette County are the same thing. We are a combined government with the city and the county levels of government. And then around Fayette County are 6 other counties. And the way that I always remember it is how the interstate is sort of set up. So you have Clark County, I-64 runs through there. You have Scott County, I-75 runs through there. That's north of Fayette County. South of Fayette County, I-75 runs through Madison County. Then if you go west, you go through part of Woodford has I-64, so that's our fourth. And then what I'm leaving out, of course, are the last 2 that just have, U.S. highways and not interstates, but certainly have major roads going through them, are Bourbon County and then Jessamine County, which is where Nicholasville is. So we will start with Fayette County. In Q4, there were 710 single-family homes. That's all we're talking about today, nothing multifamily or townhouse or anything like that. Excuse me. So 710 total homes sold. In this county, it's still a very, very strong seller's market, as you'll see by the graphic that I'm putting up right now. And that's as of November 2022. The average home price was $374,000 roughly. And that was an average square footage of about 2,250 square feet. The median home price, if that's a metric that you like more, was $315,000 with a median square footage of 2,000. Here's the seller stuff. So 562 of the 710 homes, or 79% of all the homes sold in Q4, sold in 30 days or less. So even though we've seen a market cool, it's not a buyer's market, and it is not a market where, because something's sitting on the market for 28 days or 21 days, it doesn't necessarily mean that the house is overpriced. In fact, that's kind of what was going on in the seller's market before COVID. So in a lot of ways, we've returned to a seller's market that is more like COVID. It is a little bit more advantageous to buyers in the sense that buyers can ask for some things without necessarily getting totally shut out because of the circumstances that COVID really agitated for us, where you were just like, I guess I'm just going to not have an inspection. There were a lot of people that felt that way, and a lot of people that were just quite literally in that situation where they lost out on a house because they were asking for an inspection, and then someone else was not asking for an inspection at all, and also paying tens and thousands over asking price or whatever. So it's still a seller's market. Things are on the market longer compared to COVID, but they're not sitting on the market for months and months and months. Not here in Lexington or really any of the counties that touch it. Getting back into the statistical aspect, the average sold price to original list price. So meaning if the original list price was $400,000, let's make it $100,000 just for my mental math's sake. And then maybe It got taken off the market because they wanted to like clean it up and do some stuff, and then it came back on the market and was priced at 98,000, and then someone ultimately bought it for, I don't know, 90,000. What I'm giving you from a statistical standpoint is what it sold for versus that original price, that $100,000 price when it first got on the market. I like that stat better, and so I tend to use that stat versus just the sold to list price, because the list price may change. It may go up, it may go down. So sold to original list price. And so in Fayette County, 98.4% was the average amount that someone paid. So if we go back to that $100,000, even though that's not the stat is 374, 315. But for easy math's sake, if a home was $100,000, that means that on average you're paying $98,400 for a home in Lexington. So you're not paying full price, but you're paying very, very close. And again, out of those 710 homes, 562 of them sold in under 30 days. When you go beyond 30 days, 31 plus, homes sold for 90% to about 96% of list price. So, the longer that they were on the market, there are lots of things in there, but the longer it is on the market, at least for this county, you got maybe a little bit more of a deal. So if something was on the market for 120 days, well, there's probably a little bit more space for negotiation and price. So the rest of these counties will go a little bit faster now that I've kind of oriented you around what each of these things means in terms of list price versus sold price versus original list price, whatever. And then I do want to do one other thing. So if you break down these stats into what most people are looking for, homes that sold the most, configurations that sold the most. So for Fayette County, that'd be homes between 2,000 and around 2,400 square feet. So if you shrink it down to that versus taking all single family homes, if you shrink it down to just this little window of square footage, the average price you'd pay is about $341,000, and the median price you'd pay is about $336,000. And that is an average of 98% of the original list price that you're paying. So moving on to Scott County. Scott County is directly north of Fayette County. In the fourth quarter, 180 homes were sold, single family homes. Moderately strong sellers market as of November 2022. I don't have anything more current than November, unfortunately. The average home price was $326,000, and the average square footage 2,034 square feet. Median home price $307,000, and the median square footage about 1,800 square feet. Of the 180 homes sold, 77% of them, or 139 homes, sold in less than 30 days. This is going to be a trend for literally all of the counties, by the way. So stuff is still selling for under 30 days, which again, in 2018 and 19, we were like, wow, that's so fast. Now that we've gone through COVID, people are like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever. It's really not taking forever. We're just kind of like at a place where COVID is not such an enormous part of our daily life and economy and all that. We're still feeling ripple effects, but the pandemonium has finished. 77% of the homes sold in less than 30 days. And on average, people were paying almost 99% of the original list price in under that 30 days. If you go beyond 30 days, 31 plus days, you're ranging anywhere from 93% of list price to 116% of list price. Sorry, original list price. So in Scott County, there wasn't necessarily as much of a deal to get when things extended beyond that 30-day period. If you zoom down into the 1,800 to 2,200 square foot range, which is really where most of the homes are being sold square footage wise, you can expect to pay an average of $331 and a median of $320,000, and you're still paying an average of 98% of the original list price. So if you compare that to Lexington, the numbers are not super favorable. Lexington was $341,000 average between 2,000 and 2,400 square feet. Obviously, this isn't apples to apples because on the Scott County side, you've got 1,800 to 2,200. So you save about $10,000 on average, but you're also probably getting a smaller house in Scott County. If we move on over to Madison, so the direct south neighbor of Fayette County, 291 homes sold. Madison's gorgeous. I love it there. Big part of our cattle industry. Anyway, average home was about 200. Oh, I can't read my own handwriting. $292,000. Average size, 2,050 square feet. Median price in Madison, $265,000. An average of 1,700 square feet. Of the 291 homes sold, 210 of them, so like, again, majority of them sold in less than 30 days, with an average of a 98% sold price compared to the original list price. If you go beyond the 31 days, the average sold price to original list is between 89% and 96%. So if you wait a little longer, there might be a deal, but you're also choosing from way less homes because the majority of them sell for under 30 days. Then if you zoom down to Madison County's most square footage sold, you get a range of about 1,700 to 2,200 square feet. And for that sized home or that range of home, you're looking to pay an average of $286,000, a median of $289,000, and you're paying an average of 100% of list price. Clark County. Clark County is like it's not directly east, but it might as well be. It's kind of like just a little bit south and east, but it is the next one. 95 homes sold. An average of $242,000 paid in those 95 homes. 1,900 square feet is the average square footage. The median is $226,000 for a home in Clark County, and 1,750 square feet. 1,750 square feet for median square footage. Of the 95, 73% of all sales, or 70 homes, sold in 30 days or less. And in that grouping, 97% is what you'd expect to pay for any one of those homes that sold in 30 days or less. 97% of the original list price. If you go beyond that 30 days, 31 or more days, you're looking at a range of 87.9% to 92% of original list price that you'd pay. But that's, 25 homes that you'd be choosing between if you waited beyond that 31 days in Clark County. If you zoom down into, most popular square footage range, 1,700 to 2,100 square feet in Clark County, you'd be looking to pay $250,000, on average $255,000 for the median price, and you're paying an average of 97% of the original list price in Clark. Moving on over to Woodford. Woodford is due west of Lexington. It's really, really pretty, and a lot of famous horses have been buried there or are still taken care of there. I need more coffee. Woodford is a fairly small county, so there's only 45 homes sold there, and there's not a lot of development that's going on in Woodford for a lot of very intentional reasons. So they're not like crazy homes sold, but there are 45 homes, an average price of $382,000, an average square footage of 2,386 square feet. Median price $348,000, with almost the same median, or almost the same square footage as the average, 2,376. So a difference of 10 square feet between the average and the median. 36 or 80% of the homes that were sold in quarter four sold in 30 days or less. And of those 36 homes, people paid an average of 98.99% of the original list price. If you go beyond the 30 days, so 31 days and more, the average paid was 80 up to 90% 90% of the original list price. So this is actually the biggest difference in all of the counties. So I guess in a manner of speaking, it's the place where you might find the best deal. Because I mean, if you're paying 80% of list price up to 90% versus 98 or something, that's really good. But you do have to remember that this is in the category of homes that have been on the market beyond 30 days. And so in Woodford terms, let's see, that would have only been 9 homes. So we're talking about 9 homes where people got, some pretty nice money off of the original list price. So not a lot to choose from, but that's the stat nonetheless. And because the median and average and the square footage and all that stuff, I don't really have a zoomed down version because, it's just, it kind of already speaks for itself. If you move to Jessamine County it borders the southwest portion of Fayette County, and it does not have any interstate access. Another hot topic, different day. 123 homes were sold in the fourth quarter. And it's also a very fast growing place. So unlike Woodford made a really big point to be like, we don't want to become Jessamine County, in the sense that Jessamine has just homes going up. It's not quite where Scott County is, which I talked about as I think that was the second county I went over, but it's headed there. There's just a lot of development in Jessamine, and in Jessamine County you have Nicholasville and Wilmore. Those are the 2 cities that are there. So 123 homes sold, an average price of $407,000 paid, an average square footage of 2,350 square feet sold. The median price for a home is $310,000. So really big difference between that median and average. I still personally don't understand the significance of a median in any of these stats, but it seems to be how people and writers and newspapers talk about home prices. Like, I know what a median is. I'm not an idiot, but I don't understand what a median does for people. But I include it because that seems to be how the national conversation around home prices always happens. So $310,000, about $93,000 shy of, am I doing that math right? Yeah, of the average home price. So interesting there. And then the median square footage sold is 1,975 square feet. Then if you go to homes that sold in 30 days or less, that would account for 73% of the homes in Jessamine County that were sold in quarter 4, or 90 homes. And in that group, you'd pay an average of 96% of the original list price. 31 days or more, you're looking at 86% of list price to 95% of list price. Sorry, original list price. If you zoom down to, most popular square footage range, 1,900 to 2,500 square feet in Jessamine County. What that looks like is an average of $357,000, a median of $340,000, and an average of 98.3% original list price ratio, whatever. Okay, so many numbers. Bourbon County. Bourbon County is it's northeast of Lexington. The major highway that runs through it is US 68, and it's like really gorgeous horse country as well. It borders the eastern part of Scott County. I think that's how that is. The counties are also strangely shaped, but it is also kind of a more agrarian county. I don't really know the story of why it isn't developing maybe as fast as like Jessamine is, because in a way it and Jessamine are mirrors of each other. They only have county roads and US highways running through them. They have beautiful land, of course, but Jessamine County is developing fast. Bourbon County, one of our original counties, is really not developing at all. And I've never really asked that question. That's a different conversation for a different day. Anyway, in Bourbon County, you've got 38 homes that were sold. An average of $226,000 paid for said home, an average of 1,800 square feet that you'd get. Median price, $185,000, and then the median square footage, 1,400 square feet. 91.9% of all of the homes there sold in 30 days or less. In numbers terms, that's 25 out of the 38 homes. And in that group, an average of 91.5% of original list price was paid. What I imagine is going on with that, I can't confirm because it takes me long enough to get through do all this stuff and then put all the graphics up for the video and whatever. But what I imagine happening, Bourbon is because it's not heavily developed, there's not a lot of new homes. What I imagine is the homes that are sold there are pretty old. A lot of them are probably not very updated. There may be any manner of, cosmetic issues or actual issues, but I imagine the age of homes there really brings into the focus of how you get an average of 91.5% of original list price. Because if you have been paying attention, of course, you'll notice that most things that are under 30 days or that are sold under 30 days, it's high 90 percentile, especially when you start zooming down to most popular square footage, the things that people are looking for the most. So 91.5% of list prices or original list price is pretty interesting. Last but not least, if you go beyond 30 days, so 31 plus days, 83% to 94% of the original list price is what you could expect to pay on average. If you zoom down to that 1,400 to 1,900 square foot range, which is Bourbon County's sweet spot for most homes sold, average of $173,000, median of $187,000, and an average paid of 93.8% compared to the original list price. Is that it? Oh my gosh, that's it. So I hope that helps. Obviously there are plenty of other counties. There's a whole other ring of counties outside of so you've got Lexington as the center, and then the 6 that I talked about around Lexington, and then there's more around there. I love making videos, but we'll have to either hit those counties never or some other time, because it does take me a lot of time to put this stuff together. But I hope that it helps. It is by and large where most people live, which is why I tend to focus on them. Get in touch with me if you have questions. If you need to sell a house, buy a house, sell some land, buy some land. That's what I'm here for. And I think if you didn't know, this is the complimentary video to what I did with Mitch. Last week, we talked all about Q4 macro level and what to maybe look forward to about homes in 2023 in Central Kentucky. So this is kind of a zoomed down version of what's happening on the ground level, or what happened on the ground level. Next week, I'll be doing a macro version of the land market. Don't want to miss that. It's really cool. My colleague, she's a lender over at Rural First. We work together a lot. Her name's Emily Stamper. It was so fun to hang out with her and talk land for a little bit. And then the following week, I will be doing a very similar video that I am doing today that you're watching now, but just about land. So that's all I've got to say. I hope that you have a great week, and we will talk later. Adios. Thanks for watching.